Welcome to Total Seed. We're a family-owned seed company working to grow the best seeds in the world, and this is how we do it. This week we're continuing our series on what it takes to get our corn from the field to the bag and ready to ship to our customers. So far, our corn has been harvested, brought back to our facility, sent into green sort, been through quick sort, sent out of the building and up to the dryer, sent into bins. We looked at the dynamics of our dryer and the pressure chamber it creates. Then after a few days, we've taken them out of the dryer, sent them to the sheller, watched them tumble around and take all the kernels off the ear. We saw them get their initial cleaned, and then we sent them to a trip scale to measure out 10 bushels and to take a sample. Then our president, Aaron Conaway, took over with a tour, and he walked us through all the steps of sizing and sorting our corn. So now he's going to take over again and show us the treatment process for all of our corn.
Now we're in our treater room. So we had seed in those bins waiting to go to the treater. What happens is now we decide which grade sizes that we want to treat. We pull the corn out of the bins, send it up the leg to the floor that are above us to where we have surge hoppers, and fill those surge hoppers and head to these treaters. We have two treaters in here. One of our main treaters is a continuous flow through, or a GLCPS treater, which constantly flows corn through the treater and constantly applying the treatment. The other treater that we have on the other side of the treater room is a batch treater, which holds a batch of corn, treats a batch of corn, and then releases a batch of corn. Two different kinds of treaters for two different kinds of applications. We primarily use a lot of our this treater, which is the continuous flow through treater, so it's constantly treating corn, constantly drying corn, and constantly dropping it into the bin. So this treater sits on top of 4 bins, and that treater over there sits on top of 4 bins. So as it treats it, it immediately discharges it at the end of the treater and falls right into the bin then will be ready to be bagged. We do lots of different colors, as you can tell, lots of different cocktails and combinations, and here's our treater tanks that we have. When we go downstairs, we'll see how we mix chemicals, but we end up mixing a lot of our chemicals downstairs and pumping them up, or we get chemicals in bulk, primarily our cruiser or our insecticides, we get in bulk and then we pump them up here into these individual tanks. We also, when we mix downstairs, we mix everything into a white color, or we don't add color. We pump up these slurries up here into these tanks, and then up here is where we add the color before we get ready to treat. One other thing I wanted to show you, over here is our calibration station. Calibration is obviously, as everyone knows, is super important when it comes to treater and applying expensive chemical onto the seed, and especially when you're treating 400, 500, 600 bushel an hour, making sure that your treater calibration of your treater is spot on. We've designed our own calibration system in order so we can sit here and constantly monitor how much chemical we're using as it's being applied to the seed. We can constantly adjust and then tweak everything that we need as we are treating seed. So this is where it all happens in order to get all the seed that we need treated for the day. Now we're going to head downstairs, look at how and where we mix our treatment, and then we'll get ready to start the bagging process. Okay, we're back down on the ground level. We have now seed treated, getting ready to package. Before we do that, I wanted to take you into our treating mixing room and show you a little bit about it. As I mentioned upstairs, we handle a lot of different treatments, a lot of different colors. I'm always the guy that likes to go into the closets that nobody wants to take you to, because we do handle a lot of treatment, a lot of different colors. It's really hard to keep things perfectly clean. So when I go onto a tour, I really like to go into places that sometimes people just don't want to see, but I want to show you how we handle it. We've expanded this pesticide in bulk, so we bring in the bulk containers and we have to pump these the chemical from here upstairs. As I mentioned earlier, we mix our slurries down here, but we mix everything in white, and we have the different tanks here that we need to add water and all the different concoctions that we need to put in here. Then we pump it upstairs, and then that's where we add color, so we can manage our colors a little bit easier and a little bit less volume. So here it is, our mixing room. We mix everything here, we pump things upstairs, and then put them into those separate tanks in order to feed and calibrate the treaters. From here, let's check out the bagging line.
We'll stop there for now, and next week Aaron will take back over to show us how our corn is bagged and prepared to send out to our customers. For now, check out a few photos from this week. The end of harvest is upon us, and our team is pushing harder and harder every day to make sure that we can finish off strong. We appreciate all their hard work and the hours they put in. We appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. And if you want more content from Total Seed, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Don't worry, I'll leave all those down in the description below. Thank you again for watching. We hope you enjoyed another look at the total picture.